Hello, beautiful humans. I am coming to you live from my kitchen. My son is sleeping in the car. My dog's outside. I've got 15 minutes before I hop on a work call. And I'm titling this episode God Laughs While You're Busy Making Plans. Or the John Lennon quote from the song Beautiful Boy. That's like one of my favorite songs to sing my son, which is life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Life and God, I feel like, are one and the same. Source, life, God, spirit, nature, creator, source. It's all the same. And now I'm looking at me. Let me see my mic. Okay, I was just putting myself on mute. Okay, I've got the mic working. So I've been in this interesting space around these solo casts. And I feel like these solo casts have been very spirit led over the last several weeks. And it's like very clear that when I'm meant to share an episode, it's like, yep, this is the episode. It just happens to me in the moment. And then it's like, go record it. And my son just turned 1 and he started biting me while nursing. And it was very abrupt and it was very painful. And I've been in a transition with him because after on and off for the course of the last couple weeks, I have decided that it's time to wean him off breastfeeding. And so that shifted our schedule with sleep, our schedule with naps. There's been an emotional tie that my son and I have with this bond around nursing him. And there's been a lot of emotional shifts with my son and I, physical shifts. It's impacted, again, our routine. And it was hard in the beginning. And what was so interesting is it was so abrupt. And so I wanted to give a couple of examples as I've been reflecting on the course of this whole journey, stepping into motherhood. And again, I know I share so much about my motherhood journey, but this can apply to any walk of life and any individual because, right, where have we had a plan and then been like so taken out by the plan and been so attached to the plan and thought that the plan was the way, and then a totally different pathway opens up. And this has been what I have found over and over and over again is like, oh gosh, my son loves worship music. And there was this song, I think it's by Maverick City Music. And I wish I remembered the quote, but it was like, mountains. Okay, I'm going to butcher it. It's like, what if mountains are the new pathway? It was something like that, right? It's like, what if the mountain is the way? What if the obstacle is the detour in the aligned direction? And so, what's been so beautiful is, first of all, noticing when there was a lack of presence with nursing my son as of late. Like, for example, um, just wanting it to go away or like being really tired, right? I was nursing him, yeah, honestly, probably like 6 to 8 times a day. More than that, probably. I would say probably 6 to 8 times a day on average from the time that he was born. And that's a lot. It's a lot of energy. And there were times where I didn't want to do it or I was tired. Also times where I just loved it and I felt that connection. But there was something where I just always thought that like, oh, I would decide when I would stop breastfeeding or like my milk supply would go away or um I don't know. I just like always envisioned it being like my decision. And of course, once again, God's laughing while I'm busy making plans because I didn't I didn't think that he would bite me and this would cause a shift in how we're showing up. And so I've noticed part of the human experience, right? And the soul journey in human form is like, okay, right, there's the attachment. It's like, oh, this is how this was going. And now it's different. And I don't like it. And it's disruptive. And then there's that part of us where we're like holding on so tightly to the old thing. And then all of a sudden, like there's a letting go that happens. There's an allowance of like, okay, this is the fucking season that I'm in. This is it. Like, this is happening. Can I like let this take me out because I'm holding on so tightly to the what once was, or can I just allow the experience to move? And then acceptance kind of starts to happen. And then that's when the alchemy happens, right? So the acceptance is like, okay, like I accept that this is the season that I'm in. Like I am not in control. God is in control. And my son is a part of this situation as well. And we get to shift things up. And I feel like motherhood has been such a constant reminder for me in you think you have a plan, you think you know what's best, you think you know how this is going to go, and like totally something shifts. It's the same with my birth story, which my epic home to hospital birth story revealed is episode 92. If you want to go back and listen to how I planned a home birth and ended up making the conscious decision to go to the hospital after my water broke and my son wasn't coming and labor didn't start. And it was a whole 3 day process of laboring and all the things. It was like I had a birth plan and there was nothing that happened in my birth plan. Not a single thing. Not a single thing. Everything got thrown out the window. So I had a plan and I was prepared. And clearly there was divine orchestration at play. My soul, my son's soul, my husband, right? Like all these different players of how this journey got to unfold. And I now see why it needed to happen that way with the experience of having my son in the institution of a hospital. And now I'm seeing the beauty in okay, this is where we're at. Like, this is the situation. And I feel like what I'm recognizing is my attachment to what I think I need or what I think is right or what I think is meant for me. My attachment to that is actually what causes my exhaustion and my energy leaks. And it causes so much more disruption in my being versus like, yes, grieve it, process it, feel it, right? Like it's okay to be in the discomfort. It's like, oh, this thing is changing. Like I just got used to this thing. And like that's part of it. We want to make sure that we're feeling it and we're meeting it. But there's that fine line between like, how long are we going to be holding on to this thing and grieving it and like wishing it were different and wanting to go back to the way things were versus, okay, there's an allowance that begins to happen that then translates into acceptance that then allows for alchemy, which is the transcendence of the experience into something more meaningful and something that is meant for us. And what I have found is my son is more independent, right? He's now taking bottles and my husband is now feeding him bottles and laying with him and supporting him during nap time and bedtime whenever possible. And my husband is loving it and there's a bond that my son and my husband are forming and it's giving me free time to do other things. And I'm just noticing a shift in okay, I see what's happening here. Like I see the evolution of like this motherhood journey and like the support that I've been calling in and this thing that's required so much of my time that has now shifted. And can I grieve that old part of me, right? That I love breastfeeding, even though it was hard. Like, I'm so sad that I'm not going to be doing it anymore. And I'm also so excited for the bond that my son and my husband get to have and the time that I get to now have to do more things for myself. So, that is kind of the premise of this message is like, I think it's helpful to have some sort of structure and to have some sort of plan, but really it's there to allow for adaptability, for resiliency, for shifting. And so, can we have a plan that's written in pencil versus like black permanent marker? That's what I'm finding in this season of life is the plan, the preparedness, the structure, the rhythm, the routine is necessary. And then we create all of this movement and fluidity and forgiveness and flow and dynamicism that is part of the human experience. And that has been honestly the biggest medicine that I've received in really since I stepped into 2025 and with my son's first birthday. And really, it's more of a celebration of me and my motherhood. Like I'm celebrating my son, but I'm doing a lot of reflection and a lot of contemplation and a lot of celebration of like, wow, look at look at what I've created. Look at what like my family unit has created. Look at what we've done. Look at the awareness and the consciousness. And again, my method, my soul alchemy method is allow, accept, alchemize. And so that's part of this process where I'm like, I am not above the things that I teach. Like, I am in constant experimentation and constant practice of the very thing that allows us to alchemize who we are at a soul level, which is really coming home to that authentic, purest, truest part of ourselves. And it's messy, and life takes hard work. Evolution takes hard work. Like, this is hard. Mothering is hard. Work and working when it is like from pure soul alignment is hard. I'm not suffering though, like I once was when I was out of alignment, but it's hard. So can we like call it what it is? That life is hard. But again, it's like, what is our relationship with hard? Are we like hanging on so tightly to that thing? Or are we like meeting that and grieving it and feeling it and being angry about it and being frustrated about it? And then moving into like, okay, what is this? What is this teaching me? What is this here? So we're not rushing the human experience and the feeling and the emotion and the sensation of when things get hard and when things shift and when things change. We're not rushing it, but we are also not staying in the gutter and staying there and holding on so tightly. And I feel like that's really a lot of the codes that I carry is in that catalyzing energy. I love evolution. I love holding people high in their evolution and in their highest timeline. And I'm giving you like raw, real, tangible examples of how I'm moving through things every single day, constantly, of where is this thing that's no longer true? This thing is no longer a part of my life. Breastfeeding is now like a thing of the past, and I wasn't prepared for that. It, like all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, what just happened? I was doing this thing every single day for a year, and now it's gone and it's changing and it's disrupting sleep and it's disrupting emotional states and all the things. And I'm like, so much beauty has come from it, like the bond with my son and my father. And again, like the energy that it's brought back into my field that I can now use for other things that are important to me. So, what a gift this motherhood journey has been. I would love for you to just take a moment to, yeah, like, can you apply this to something in your life? Where are you hanging on so tightly to something that's shifting, right? Where are you like gripping so tightly and your claws are all over it when you can just, right, meet it, feel it, be in the sensation of it. Don't numb it out. Face it, feel it, face it, feel it, face it, feel it. And then the byproduct of that is like, holy shit, like I'm allowing this experience to happen. There's a reason for it. And I accept this too shall pass. This is a transitory moment in time. There's an old part of me that's dying and a new part of me that is being birthed. And I accept that this is part of the human experience. And then all of the medicine and all of the wisdom and all of the gifts just continue to pour in. I mean, what a time to be alive. I'm freaking having so much fun over here, failing forward. I hope that you enjoyed this short and sweet little episode. I've got a call to hop on in 1 minute. I love you so much. And thank you for just continuing to grow with me through the show and not be consistent, but be committed to this vehicle, which is the podcast, to support myself, to be a virtual diary for myself, and of course, to support you. I love you so much. Mwah.